welcome. I've been thinking, why do we often complain about how much time we spend at work? Do we actually feel better when doing that, or does it take away from the enjoyment of living? Today, we will talk about why it seems so impossible to get the balance right between the hustle and the headache of work, with the secondhand advice from the book, The Buddha and the Badass by Vishen Lakhiani. Even the average work week of 40 hours, not including any pesky overtime, seems to add up far too quickly. A long day at work seems to leach into the free time you have in the evening if you spend that time exhausted or full of the stress that you've taken home from the office. Far too many people spend the weekends just trying to forget that they only have a couple of days before they are back to work on Monday. Today, we're going to discuss why so many people feel that way and what we can do to change it, as told in The Buddha and the Badass, the secret spiritual art of succeeding at work. It's pretty clear why this is a problem we need to fix. We only get one measly shot at life, and most of us will spend our prime years of our lifetime working to make a living to afford some of the things that we need to survive and thrive. Being stressed and miserable is simply an unacceptable use of those prime years. So why should we settle for it? When we talk about the Buddha and the Badass, we are talking about two ideas that do or can exist within every person. First, there is the Buddha. This isn't used to refer to the actual Buddha or someone who has reached true spiritual enlightenment. Instead, in this context, the Buddha refers to a person who can live in the modern world and achieve an inner awareness of the power and flow that exists within them. The Buddha is someone who exists peacefully and with ease, despite the stress that may surround them. Then there is the Badass, fundamentally almost the opposite of what the Buddha represents. The Badass is someone who creates disruption, but in a positive way. They want to create change in any way they can, using their talents and passions, whether in planning, inventing, speaking, or acting as leaders. The Badass wants to create and maintain these changes and challenge society's norms. The Buddha and the Badass can both exist without the other, and often people can find one easier to tap into than the other. But it is only once you have learned how to access both of these skill sets that you can truly experience the benefits of either being the Buddha or being the Badass. To get that process started, you need to ask yourself a question first. Am I unfuckwithable? And yes, that means exactly what you think it does. How easy is it for life's external circumstances and your internal judgment to fuck with your confidence and happiness? If you are unfuckwithable, none of these external things can shake you. A true Buddha's internal peace and confidence can lead to unfuckwithableness, and a true badass will be totally unfuckwithable. However, very few of us are. Even the most confident and peaceful people can still, from time to time, be fucked with. From a backhanded compliment from a close friend, to a reprimand from a boss when you know you didn't do anything wrong. These things can lead to dashed confidence and a feeling of inadequacy. Over time, repeatedly knocked confidence can cause a hefty blow to your self-esteem. One of the biggest secrets to being less fuckwithable is to stop putting the keys to your success, happiness, and confidence in the hands of anyone else. Anyone at all. No matter how great they seem or how much you want them to love you. I mean it. The only hands that should hold these keys are your own. You are the one in control of your life, And you are the only person you can guarantee you can rely on 100% of the time. Does that sound daunting? If you feel like you can't rely on yourself to provide for your success and happiness, you will need to change. You need to feel like right now you are already enough. Not that you could maybe one day be good enough if you keep working on yourself. No, you are enough right now. For many of us, this can be hard. You can start showing yourself that you are enough for you by practicing daily self-love. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love you, no matter how silly you feel. Love yourself unconditionally and extend this love to the people and animals in your life. Show gratitude for them and your life unapologetically, even for the smallest things that most people would not even notice. When you live your life looking for love and gratitude everywhere you go, you will see that you will begin to raise your own happiness and self-confidence, as well as those of the people around you. Every day when you wake up, remember, your life is not just about you and your experiences. Your life influences many other people and the world around you. With this thought in mind, you can live with the intention of healing and bringing peace and happiness to others. When you wake up with these intentions, you will begin to notice that you become less depressed and stressed about your life. Suddenly, your problems will seem smaller and your goals will seem more significant. Living your life in this more open, less self-centered way can also help with a task that seems to appear in most self-help books. Finding your why. Why do you go to work? Why do you make the decisions that you make? What is the significant inner purpose that drives you? What makes you want to wake up in the morning and keep going? Once you tap into this why, people will be naturally drawn to you as a leader and a positive influence. Finding your why will lead to an authentic and real life driven by a genuine purpose. To help yourself find this purpose, you can answer the 3 MIQs, most important questions. These are: 1, what do you want to experience in life? 2, what growth do you want to see in yourself? And 3, what do you want to contribute to the world? By answering these 3 MIQs, you will see a basic summary of your purpose in life and what you want to have achieved by the end of your life if you're going to feel fulfilled and satisfied with your time on Earth. It isn't enough to keep your why to yourself. Once you have found it, or even just found a part of it, you need to find a way to share it with the world around you. Finding your why can be the easy part for many people, compared to the daunting task of sharing this personal, deep inner purpose with others. The idea of judgment can seem terrifying, but in reality, the people who will judge you for your vision are not the sort of people you want to attract into your life. Sharing your why will naturally turn these people away from you, and instead, you will attract people with similar goals and visions into your life. Your why is based on 2 types of values: foundational values and organizational values. Foundational values are the types that initially attract the right people, people with similar or complementary visions, the kind of people you want to work with. Organizational values are the values that are developed after you've already brought in these people. These secondary core values help your vision grow and develop and run smoothly for your company or group. Successful author and business consultant Cameron Herold believes that the best way to create a successful vision is to think 3 years out. This 3-year window gives you enough time to work towards the results you want, but it's also close enough that you can begin to plan and get excited about the final product. Someone who uses this technique to attract people to his why is Elon Musk. Musk talks about moving the human race into outer space as if he knows that it is a guaranteed event soon. Hearing him speak in this way creates an exciting, compelling vision, which is why so many people support him and believe in his success. Even though the end point of Musk's vision may be many years in the future, people feel able to be swept up in it now. He thinks in years out and believes in his why. Musk's many business ventures, from microchips in the human brain to sending the human race to space, aim to push humanity forward as a species. A true badass, he wants to challenge norms and improve the lives of humans as a whole. This is termed a humanity plus business venture or company. Badasses and Buddhas drive humanity plus companies. These companies want to improve people's health, help the environment, and connect people worldwide. On the other hand, there are humanity minus companies and businesses. These are the sort of companies that might make you feel stressed and depressed about waking up and going to work each morning. These companies have one purpose: to make a profit. This profit can come at the cost of human well-being. An excellent recent example is the vape industry. While this is a new and hugely profitable industry, it sells addictive products that contain carcinogens and toxins. Nobody except for the companies that sell vape products benefits from them, and many people will be harmed. Be a badass. Drive humanity forward. Don't be a part of anything that will hold the human race back, because you will find that it keeps you back too. There's a famous anecdote of how Steve Jobs motivated his engineers to make the start time of an early Mac computer faster. Jobs was bothered by how long it took the computer to start, but the engineers didn't seem to care as much as he did. Jobs said to them, "You know, I've been thinking about it. How many people are going to be using Macintosh? 1 million? No. More than that. In a few years, I bet 5 million people will be booting up their Macintoshes at least once a day. Well, let's say you can shave 10 seconds off the boot time. Multiply that by 5 million users, and that's 50 million seconds every single day. Over a year, that's probably dozens of lifetimes. So, if you make it boot 10 seconds faster, you've saved a dozen lives. That's really worth it, don't you think?" I would say it's worth it. And when you think of yourself working 40 hours a week over 40 to 50 years, isn't it your own lives that you're saving by making yourself into more of a Buddha and a badass? And I would say that is worth it too. Do you find yourself to be more of a Buddha or a badass? Which do you prefer? Comment below with your best advice. Please be sure to like and subscribe as well. And thank you for watching. Your life is what you make it, and so is language. We've talked about unfuckwithable, so here are a few more great words and turns of phrases. 1. Chipmunking. The act of watching recorded college lectures at 2 times the speed in a futile attempt to cover an entire semester's material the day before the exam. 2. Irish handcuffs. When a person is carrying an alcoholic beverage in both hands at the same time, also known as double fisting. 3. Accubation. The process of eating or drinking while lying down. Honestly, I'm surprised more people haven't heard of this one because it seems to be a common habit in the age of DoorDash and Netflix.